The entire social media world is asking about my marriage to Yang Mi. What secrets does it ultimately hide? Is that post-remarriage child custody agreement real or fake? Everyone is speculating about our breakdown, about the truth behind that amicable split. But no one knows that within this relationship discussed by millions, there lies a sentence I have never dared to utter to an outsider in my entire life. It holds the cruelest yet gentlest truth about our journey from falling deeply in love to drifting apart. I am Hawick Lau. The year I met Yang Mi, I was filming Ruyi in Hangdian. At that time, I was a Hong Kong artist who had been in the industry for many years. My personality is naturally slow-paced. I like quiet and was used to a tedious life revolving only around film sets and hotels. I thought love in this lifetime would always be that calm, drifting gently through the years. Until she, dressed in Republic-era attire and wearing cloth shoes, ran straight onto the set. With her high ponytail and a bright smile revealing her snaggletooth, she boisterously shouted to the staff, "Let's get to work." That youthful vitality, as warm as a little sun, immediately broke through all my stagnation. I still remember the rainy season in Hangdian. The rain fell incessantly. She was filming at night, shivering from the cold. I handed her a thick coat. She looked up and smiled at me, her eyes sparkling like they held 1,000 stars. I remember after work, we would hide in the production van. She told me about the narrow alleys of Beijing and her passion for acting. I told her about the old streets of Hong Kong and stories from my childhood. There was no celebrity aura, no shackles of fame, just two ordinary young people finding solace in each other in the middle of the night in a foreign land. I was older than her and always wanted to give her all my tenderness. She loved sweets, so I memorized all her tastes. Whenever I visited the set, I always brought her favorite cake. She was a workaholic, working around the clock without rest. I would often stay on set waiting for her to finish, bringing warm water and massaging her shoulders. Outsiders said our statuses were unequal and our paces of life were different. I didn't care. I was convinced my steadiness could preserve her fire, and her radiance would light up my quiet life. On the day we went public, I didn't hesitate for a second, casually writing words of love on social media. I wanted the whole world to know that this girl was the one I wanted to protect for a lifetime. The wedding in Bali didn't have the glitzy ostentatiousness of the media. There were only close family and friends. I watched her walk toward me in her wedding dress, the hem brushing the sand and the sea breeze blowing her veil. I silently vowed in my heart to bring her lifelong peace, so she could forever be a carefree little girl. The day Nomi was born, I waited outside the delivery room, my palms drenched in sweat. The moment I heard the baby cry, my limbs went weak with emotion. Holding that soft little life in my arms, I looked at Yang Mi, exhausted but still smiling, and felt my life was completely fulfilled. At that moment, I thought we would hold our child's hand, passing through year after year, watching her grow and seeing ourselves grow old together. But I forgot that she was never the type of woman to just linger in the kitchen. She's Yang Mi, someone who belongs to the stage, to the lens, a queen who belongs to the magnificent spotlight. Her footsteps are always moving forward. Her career soared. She went from an actress to a boss. She worked tirelessly. Working without days off was a common occurrence. Airports, film sets, and TV stations were her daily life. Meanwhile, in my heart, I was still the Hong Kong man longing for the warmth of home. I wanted evening meals, bedtime stories, and being by our child's side when night fell, simple days of the whole family gathered together. Our rhythms of life began to fall completely out of sync. While she was at a film set receiving an award, I was at home with Nomi waiting for Mom to return. While she shone on the red carpet, I was in the kitchen cooking baby food. Those late-night heart-to-heart phone calls of the past were now reduced to a few instructions to stay healthy. The unspoken understanding we once had turned into a suffocating silence. There were no arguments, no criticisms, and no scandalous affairs. It was just that we gradually became people from two different worlds. She flew high to chase her dreams while I stayed behind to nurture our home, Neither of us was wrong. It was just that we could no longer walk the same path. The turbulent conflicts rumored by the public were nothing more than the imagination of the audience watching the play. We never raised our voices or said a single word to hurt each other. Even the breakup took place on a quiet night, in composure and understanding. I looked at her, still the girl with those radiant eyes, but we both clearly understood that if we kept forcing it, we would only erode the beautiful memories of the past. The brief divorce statement in 2018 was the final kindness we gave each other. No accusations, no media manipulation, only a promise to raise our daughter together. Social media exploded with speculation and defamation. False rumors spread everywhere. They said we had been at odds for a long time, that we endured it for resources and interests, and that our love was a charade from beginning to end. But they didn't know that looking at the statement on my phone, my eyes turned red. That was the true sentiment I had kept for so long, which ultimately could only end this way. Now Nomi is at the age where she runs and jumps around. She knows how to babble and call me dad, and she constantly mentions her mother. I am still by her side, living a simple life, filming, taking care of her, and enjoying the warmth of family. Meanwhile, Yang Mi continues to shine brilliantly in her field, being a one-of-a-kind queen. We are no longer lovers, but we will forever be our child's most beloved parents. We will witness her growing up together, check in on each other during holidays, and silently wish for each other's peace. I have never regretted meeting her, loving her, and marrying her. That period was the most passionate and beautiful memory of my life. What I regret is not that we moved apart, but that we couldn't fully keep our original vow. I regret that my peace could not support her dreams. I regret that we once loved each other so deeply, yet in the end, could only be passers-by in each other's lives. This is the secret we have buried for years. No over-the-top drama, no calculations, and none of the terrible things the world fabricated. There was only a passionate encounter, a period of sincere and earnest affection, and a gentle, respectful parting. To have loved, to have cherished, and to have let each other fulfill their own paths, that is the truest and quietest story of Yang Mi and me. The story of that marriage is not just a memory of a breakdown, but a profound lesson on the limitations of sacrifice and the importance of alignment in one's outlook on life. In life, we often mistakenly believe that as long as love is great enough, one can level any distance. However, harsh reality teaches us that love is only the starting gate, while lasting companionship requires a similar pace. Some people are born to be a peaceful harbor, while others are born to be tireless birds in the vast sky. When one person yearns for the warmth of a hearth and the other is captivated by the bright lights of career ambition, it is no one's fault. It is simply a difference in the direction of life values. The greatest lesson here is respect for the other's true self. Loving someone doesn't mean molding them into your own template of happiness, it means learning to accept that sometimes, for the other person to be themselves, we must let go. Kindness during a separation is also a valuable lesson in character education. In a world full of resentment, blaming, and exposing wounds to seek sympathy, the way they chose to remain silent and protect each other from the storm of public opinion is the highest expression of self-respect. Education does not only exist in books, it lies in how we treat the person we once loved when the feelings are no longer whole. A breakup doesn't have to result in becoming enemies, nor does it need to be a tragic drama. It can be a transformation from romantic love into family bond, out of a shared responsibility for a growing child. Maintaining a healthy mental environment for a child, where parents still respect each other despite no longer walking together, is the most precious gift of education that adults can give to the next generation. Ultimately, life teaches us that every encounter has its own mission. Some people come to walk to the end of the road with us, but others come only to teach us how to love, how to cherish, and even how to let go with serenity. Do not regret a journey that has ended. Instead, be grateful for the youthful years you had together and for becoming better versions of yourselves because of each other. Happiness is not just about possession, it is also about helping the other fulfill their potential. When we can smile and wish an ex-partner well on their own path, that is when our hearts truly mature and reach the threshold of true freedom. If you enjoy emotional stories and profound life lessons like this, don't forget to hit like, leave a comment sharing your own feelings, and subscribe to the channel today. Your support is the motivation for us to continue spreading beautiful life values. Let's build an understanding and loving community together.